Chris Algieri. Welcome to the Champion Lifestyle. In this episode of the Champion Lifestyle, we're talking about a Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup in boxing. Okay, so now, first thing to notice is Tom here is in an Orthodox stance, meaning he has his left foot in front. He's a right-hand dominant fighter, so his right hand is in the rear in a more power position. Tariq over here is our Southpaw. He's got his right foot in front. He's got his left hand, which is his power position because he's a lefty. He's a Southpaw in his rear position. Now that immediately shows a mirror image between the two fighters. Okay, we've got front hand, they're meeting in the middle. That tends to make an awkward scenario because you have foot to foot, toe on toe. You get a lot of stepping on the toes. You get a lot of head clashes because both heads are forward and to the front side. In this situation, he has to worry more now about his opponent's left hand. Tariq's punch, he being a southpaw, is the straight left hand. So initially, the first thing to think about is footwork. Tom's footwork is always going to be moving to his left side to get away from the power of his punch. So if Tom moves this way, Tariq throws that punch, he's staying outside that punch. Okay, he's moving outside the power of that punch. Okay. Next thing he wants to think about is now the hand position. And when you're talking offensively, the jabs are in the way of each other. Okay, but the right hand goes through the gloves. Okay, through the hand position, the guard position of the southpaw. So your right hand is going to be your main or initial weapon against the southpaw. Okay, because that actually sneaks right through the gloves. And then lastly, you notice Tom's foot is outside of the lead foot of Tariq, our southpaw. That means that Tariq is within his power range, in between his feet. So anything in between your feet is where you can punch the best and the hardest. Outside of your range, outside of your foot, it's much more difficult for Tariq to punch outside of his shoulder and outside of his foot. Whoever has their foot on the outside is in good offensive position. So that's where we want to stay. The three main points to take away from today are: number one is to always move to your left, away from the power hand of your southpaw. Number two would be to use your straight right hand to sneak through the guard as your lead or initial strike, and to maintain your lead foot being outside the lead foot of your southpaw opponent. And as for southpaw fighting in Orthodox, the same rules apply. It's just opposite sides. It's going to be right hand, right foot, straight left hand. But that is how you deal with a southpaw.